Hey everyone, welcome to another video. So in this video, we'll try and understand the physical verification provisions under GST at the time when you apply for a GST registration. Say you being an individual or a firm or a company is trying to get a GST number, therefore make out an application for GST registration in REG1. This is the form for filing or for applying for a GST registration. And towards the fag end of the application form, you will find an option for Aadhaar authentication, wherein you enter your Aadhaar number and an OTP shall come to the mobile number linked to the Aadhaar. You enter the OTP and your registration application in REG1 is set to be submitted. Now you also have an option to upload the documents in case you don't have an Aadhaar number. You can upload some KYC documents and complete the process. Once you complete the process, as per rules, you should be granted a final GST registration within 7 days of making out an application. So Aadhaar authentication is an important step in your GST registration application, no matter if you're an individual or a company or a firm. And therefore, our discussion in this video is being centered around this particular Aadhaar authentication. Now, what if you enter the Aadhaar number and an OTP does not come to your mobile number, which basically means that your Aadhaar authentication is failing or is bound to fail. And once it's failed, you will get to submit your REG01 application. You will get to submit this application, but you will only get your final GST registration application once the officer conducts a physical verification of the building of that address where you're giving it in the GST registration application. So the officer will come to your place, your proposed place of business under GST, and then conduct a physical verification to see if things are okay at that particular building being used for commercial purposes. So therefore, what are the instances or the situations that lead to a physical verification under GST is what we'll understand next. Well, at the final page of your online GST registration application in form REG01, even if your Aadhaar authentication is successful, you will get to submit your REG01, but since your profile on the GST portal is said to be risky, your final GST registration application will be subject to a physical verification. So even if you pass the stage of Aadhaar authentication, because you have a risky profile tagged by the GST portal, the GST officer will call for a physical verification, and only then, once that is complete, only then will you be granted a final registration number or the final registration will be approved. This is the first instance. In the second instance is basically when your authentication does not work, when your Aadhaar approval is failing, or you refuse to give your Aadhaar number or submit documents if you don't have an Aadhaar number. In all these instances, definitely your REG01 or your application for registration and getting a GST number will be subject to a physical verification of the place of business by the proper officer, by the GST officer. And finally, even after you authenticate your Aadhaar and get a final GST registration approved, you get a GST identification number. Still, at any point of time when you do your business in future, the GST officer, according to him, if he deems it fit, can visit your place of business and do a physical verification to see how things are, even after you get a GST identification number or a GST number. So these were the three instances as per the rules leading or that could lead to a physical verification by the GST officer on the proposed place of business. Now the next point is to understand, okay, the officer is calling for a physical verification and is coming to the premises to do it. What should be taken care of? Definitely, when the officer is coming to do a physical verification, either you being the authorized signatory or your representative being the authorized representative should be present in person and assist the officer in verification of the business address. After verification is completed, he will submit his report. Whether he is satisfied or unsatisfied, you will have to submit a report in REG13, which will consist of his statement, his final approval, whether it's satisfactory or not satisfactory. And it will also have the GPS enabled photos of the building or the commercial establishment from where you would propose to do business and get a GST number. And this verification report shall be submitted in REG30 within a period of 15 days of the physical verification. So the officer will come to your premises, in your presence, will do a verification, will try to get a conclusion out of it. Depending upon whether he's going to be satisfactory or not satisfactory, he will have to submit a report along with the GPS enabled photos in RG30 within 15 days of conducting the physical verification. So the normal period within which you'll get a final GST registration, final GST number, or your registration application approved is 7 days. But if you fail the Aadhaar authentication, or if you even pass the Aadhaar authentication but your profile becomes risky, or at some point in time the officer requires a verification to be done, normally the registration will only be approved within a period of 30 days. So from 7 days to 30 days is the length, or the period of time that it takes if you have to undergo a physical verification. So normally it is 7 days, but because you failed the Aadhaar authentication, the officer will come to your location, do a PV or physical verification, submit a report, and he has time up to 30 days of the application to grant a GST number or to approve your final GST registration application. Well, I hope I was able to make things clear in this particular video. If you like the video, you could show support to us by hitting the like button. If you want more videos these on a regular basis through way of notifications, you could also think waiting on the subscribe button. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and thank you.